Let me
No, just because she has sex doesn't make her whore. That's subjective. That's what somebody told you makes her a whore because she had sex. No, let's not do that.
Hey, now it's subjective, and white. Now it's subjective.
What's subjective?
I thought you were arguing against subjectivity.
Somebody being a whore because they slept with somebody really. So that's what y'all gonna try to conflate, knowing that don't make no goddamn sense.
I don't understand it in reality. Deal with the truth. Baddie culture is what you perceive of it. It is not what has actually happened. A lot of these people that are so-called have this baddie culture, whole culture, they are prudes in their house, home every single goddamn day. Day just said it herself. She was on the goddamn beach, shaking her rump, having a great time. If you was from the outside looking in, somebody could say she was having some baddie culture situation. She's a hoe all of a sudden. No, she's just having a good time as an autonomous human being. And we need to leave it as that and stop trying to make every time you see a shoulder or a little hint of ass that woman is a hoe. It's ridiculous.
Sharon, question.
What's Beyonce's value? Okay, wait.
Hold on.
Can I get in there real quick?
Ms. Pearl, when you speak, can you also add the definition of baddie culture so I understand? Because I am kind of confused on where y'all drawing the parameter.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Now, originally, bad meant you were attractive, right? And it somehow has become this. Now I'm gonna take off more clothes because you didn't even have to be. If we talk about 90s fine that everybody want to be talking about, those women were covered up. You don't understand what I'm saying? Like they were just attractive. They didn't have BBLs. They didn't have. What damn? I was finna say some other shit. Caterpillar lashes and all this extra stuff. Like the accessories weren't there. It was just natural beauty, right? They were bad. Michael Jackson had the song Bad, right? But it's become this negative connotation where it's excelled from just being attractive to now it's being redefined as the more hypersexual, the more salacious you are. And now they've blurred the lines with prostitution. And now they've conflated those. If you were a baddie, you got to be a prostitute too. No, originally it was just an attractive woman. Period.
Miss Pearl.
Now, again, people redefine this and make it their culture, but a baddie culture, again, right now, today, as it stands in 2026, women with inflated, unrealistic expectations who are, like I said before, I love rhyming, cute prostitutes. Period.
Miss Pearl, bad and baddie are different things.
So Beyonce and Ashanti would not be baddies.
You shouldn't put Beyonce and Ashanti in the same fucking sentence for anything. Ever.
I don't know if we that's subjective. I'm gonna leave that alone.
No,
and I get what you're saying now. In terms of them just being attractive, yeah, they bad. But in terms of like baddie, when we talk about like hypersexuality and salaciousness, we do have to include them because women idolize them and they move off the way they move. So like if she wearing a leotard and she talking about certain things, women are gonna be wearing a leotard. I didn't say that they were qualified to do it. I'm just saying that they model this. Ain't no different than when Jay-Z told you all to change clothes and put on button-ups from the jerseys and switch your chain quality. Like if somebody is influential to you and there's somebody that's pedestalized, you're going to be influenced off their behavior unless you're able to sort through it. And we're talking about the majority of the people. We're not trying to make this anecdotal or just isolated to us. Majority of people idolize them, period. So they follow behind them. So again, outside of the talent, outside of the business, the way that they will carry themselves in a lot of ways, I wouldn't approve of. But again, maybe they're just me. I land.
So I can get with you saying that being sexually salacious and just marketing sex in general is just across the board a negative thing that probably women should not do. Yeah. Now, in a
but again,
ideal world, I would agree
right?
with you.
That's what Jay was saying.
In an ideal world, I would agree with you. In the world we live in, I think that it's more nuanced, and then there's a spectrum to that. Because I wouldn't say what's Sexy Red doing.
That's the problem right there.
You don't think it's a spectrum? So let me ask you this: Is ballet?
But if it was hold on. I'm out with you. I'm just saying, if it was a spectrum, then why do we have a problem with they saying that in the Caribbean they dress a certain type of way, but in America we don't? If it's a spectrum, then wouldn't it be a spectrum of nudity and the way that you self-express yourself? I'm just trying to make it seem. I'm not even trying to make it seem like nothing. I just feel like it shouldn't be a gray area. Either you're a good woman or you're a whore. Like, why do we keep trying to blur the lines? It can't be these too many levels of differentiation and people getting to fluctuate. Stop it. Good woman.
So every
what does
woman
that mean?
that's not a virgin is a
whore.
whore.
What does that mean? And leave it at that. No, because then we're gonna be here all night because it's gonna be subjective. It's too many layers.
Fair enough.
Whore, good woman, and back and forth. Good woman, what is that? Whore, what is that? The shame culture, get rid of it. Like, we can't keep going.
So Miss Pearl, Miss Pearl, hold on. I really got to ask you this, Miss Pearl. So using that you're either a good woman or a whore, is every woman that is not a virgin currently or didn't wait till they got married to have sex a whore?
No, they're not. They were a human being who experienced sex. Now, if you want to try to take that from a biblical standpoint, we can break that damn Bible down too. Don't try to hold that to your chest when it promotes it to be the best. But then when you want to try to condemn somebody, you want to smack them with that too. No, because that woman had sex with a man. They were both wrong. So what are we talking about? Let's not do that, because the man also wasn't a virgin, and his ass gonna burn in hell too. So
let me
no, just because she had sex doesn't make her whore. That's subjective. That's what somebody told you makes her a whore because she had sex. No, let's not do that.
Hey, now it's subjective in white. Now it's subjective.
What's subjective?
I thought you were arguing against subjectivity.
Somebody being a whore because they slept with somebody. Really? So that's what y'all gonna try to conflate, knowing that don't make no goddamn sense. Really? Listen. So she slept with one person. She's a whore. When we already know what defines you to be a whore is when you sleep with multiple people. So this is what I be talking about. I'm gonna have conversations with real people that's gonna know what it is, or fake ass people that's gonna keep trying to make it subjective to make their arguments and prove a point. Stop playing with me. Like I say, go on past somebody else. I land.
So you doing all of this fake ass people stuff and all that. I'm gonna ignore that and strictly stick to the argument that you just made.
Good job,
I like you, Miss Pearl, and I don't want to fight with you. However, you just said that none of this shit is subjective, because I was saying Beyonce is on one end of this. Hold on, let me finish. Just mute up. Just mute up and wait. Just mute up, baby. I got you.
She's muted. Go ahead.
All right. We gonna walk it down. We're gonna slowly walk it down. So Beyonce, my claim, Beyonce is on one end of a spectrum, and Sexy Red or a woman that work on OnlyFans is on another end of that spectrum. Now, if the claim is you're either a good woman or a whore, then what definition of a good woman are you using? Because you can't then say you can sleep with one person, but you can't sleep with 5. If you're saying that there is no spectrum, it's either you're a good woman or you're a whore, then you're either a woman that's untainted, as the definition of that shit is, or you're a whore, or it's a spectrum, like I'm trying to say. That's the real conversation.
No, so like, for example, like autism, right, is a spectrum of it, right? So now it got people that don't have it at all. That's on a whole nother side. But just because if Beyonce is considered baddie culture and Sexy Red is considered baddie culture, they are just on that side altogether. So now it got a spectrum of how the degree of the baddie culture they in, but that's still those Beyonce and Sexy Red, they still on that same plane. But the good woman is on a completely different plane. You would have to have a plane of Michelle Obama and Viola Davis. They both been married for a very long time. Angela Bassett. So they will have their own version of the spectrum as well. But to act as if a woman that had sex with one man out of wedlock is now a whore, that is a completely fallacy, is what she's saying. And that premise we cannot use within this argument, because we know when we call somebody a whore, it's because they have multiple partners in a very short period of time.
Hey, real quick,
hold on, Willie. I can prove right now that it's a spectrum. Everybody tell me how many men you got to sleep with to become a whore.
Nigga, I'm already.
What's your number? How many men do you have to sleep with before a woman becomes a whore?
I would say 10.
All right, Dave, what's the number?
Bro, you're not gonna get women.
That's number, and I think subjective.
I would love. I still want to hear their numbers
per user.
So now subjective is bad.
Listen, I don't agree with that, but true, you're saying 10. But say you're in a 20-year relationship, right? And then a year you're single and you sleep with 9 men.
Or you said 10. 10 is more.
Okay, so or 8. That's less than 10. Like in a year, so that's poor. You could sleep with 5 in that time frame. I think that's. I don't.
He said 10 in a lifetime. Just deal with it. That's the number.
Yeah.
The fact that we're hold on. My point wasn't even to get answers from everybody. My point was this: if we have varying degrees of different answers, what is that called? What is a sentence? What is a synonym for varying degrees? It's called a spectrum.
Literally, but you use it at spectrum wrong. you're using the spectrum wrong. That's the issue that we having. We got to have a spectrum of what we call in baddie culture. We got to have that situation got to have a spectrum from good, bad to worse, right? But the good women, they got to have their own version of a spectrum as well. So we can't have good women a part of, if we are trying to separate the two, right? We're saying we have good women and baddie women, right? So it has to have a spectrum of just baddies, and then they got to have a spectrum of just good women, so we can have the actual separation.
Okay, so what are the parameters for each? When do you
become a statement, Sharon? That was the statement I was trying to make.
When do you break out of good woman? When do you break out of good woman and then you're into baddie?
No,
right.
Hoe.
So like,
when you said a hoe, good woman into being a hoe. What's the difference? Because Pearl's this is Pearl's world right now. She said good woman and a hoe. There's no in between. So which one is it? When do you go from good woman to hoe?